Welcome, designers. We're going to be creating our very own pattern library or folio that we can use and load into our Designer Pro software for digital pattern making. I've loaded the main menu of Designer, which is called Runway. If I click on this drop-down box here, I have a set of patterns that I have created. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to create your pattern folio. So let's take a look at the different ones we have loaded already. Here we have Elfie. Once you load it, you just click on it and it will load the pattern set for this group. Now we're in the main menu. You have the manager. That's where you can add, delete files. Design So, that's where you can go in and look at our website. Digitizer is where you can create new patterns for that set. Plotter, of course, is where you can size and print your patterns. So let's take a look at what we've got here. We'll go into the digitizer, and that will load up, and we'll hit OK. Now you've loaded up your digital patterns in the digitizer interface of your software. If we just take a look at what patterns we have here, you can see these are the patterns that we have drafted for this particular sewing project. And we'll just take one of these here. And there we have our pattern that we have for this particular set. And this is just one of the patterns. Now you can go ahead and plot that with the plotter, or we'll just go back to the digitizer main interface. I just wanted to show you that that's how we develop our own pattern sets. So now I'm going to show you how to go ahead and create one of these pattern collections that you can then later on use to produce or sell your own pattern sets online, distribute to other people who have Designer version 7 Pro. So let's take a look at that. Okay, we're back in our pattern server, and I'm going to show you how to create a pattern. What I've done is I've opened up Designer 6, which is the earlier version of Designer Pro. I have all my files in here, and inside these directories, this is the pattern server folder inside your Designer. This would be your install and directory on your computer under program files. Inside the www folder, there's a folder called V, and inside that there's the pattern server folder, and inside that we have all of our various files that we need for creating our digital patterns. If we look at the modules, those are the DGN files that we drafted up in the digitizer. And we also have other sets of information, like for example we have our fabrics in here. Well, I just wanted to show you that this is all the files, the size files too, which dictate the sizes that the patterns are graded to. So we have a wide variety of different types of body types here. Now that I've opened up this file, I can now go ahead and create or turn this folder into a pattern folio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up a directory, and I'm going to take that pattern server and I'm going to drag it over here, and I'm going to copy it into the same folder for now, and then I'm going to rename it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call this one my puppy patterns, assuming that it has my puppy patterns in it, which it could be anything that you have in that particular folder. So now I have a pattern puppy folder, and I'm going to take that folder, just going to right click here, and I'm going to copy it. This is my 7 version, and as you can see I go into the V folder, and this is where I have my other pattern collections. I'm going to right click here, and I'm going to paste that new folder into this V directory. And this is how you install a pattern set if you purchase one. For example, if you have pet wear, you would just copy that pet wear. You'd unzip it and copy your pet wear folder into this directory. Same with doll wear, any other pattern collection, and ones that you make too. You would create it, zip it up, send it to your client or customer, and then they could extract it in this folder, and then that set would then dynamically load into the digitizer and Designer. Now I'm going to just make that smaller so you can see it here, and I'm going to open up this folder because there's one other thing that we want to do, and I've already created the image that will be the cover image for this folder. So this is what the customer, the clients, or what you would see when you go into the runway. And you have to give it the default name of image, and that becomes the image attached to this folder. So now I've created this folder. I'm going to go back to the server, and I'm going to refresh this page here, and it should reload all of the pattern folders. Okay, now let's take a look in this drop down. We've got pattern puppy here, and there is the my puppy patterns from the version 6 folder. And then all we do is click on that image, and it now loads up the pattern manager. And I'm going to go into my V folder, and what I've done is I've taken petware, which is one of my folders. You could also use the pattern server, which is a blank, and all you do is you right click, drag it, and go copy here. I've already done that. I've got petware copy, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this folder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open that folder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy in all the files that I want to have in this folder. For example, I'll go into version 6 here, where I made a backup copy of I called it pattern puppy over here, and that was the pattern server in version 6. I'm going to open that up. Now if I go into my modules, and then I just take these modules, I would then, let's open the modules here, and what I'll do is I will copy these digitized patterns into this folder. Let's go copy here. And now I've added those patterns to this folder. Now I can delete these ones that are in here or not. It's up to me. And I would do that with the sizes as well from my version 6 if I had created some size files. And then that way I'd have those size files, access those files. But I've already got all the size files I need in this folder. So now what I've done is I've created this new folder, but I still need to replace the image for the cover of the folder, and that's called image.png, which I'll show you here in the list. There we go. And I've created one for the puppy over here, and so here's my puppy patterns product that I'm developing, and I'm in Photoshop right now, and I'm going to go File, Save for Web. This is CS6, by the way. I don't know if you're using Photoshop or what version. And I'm going to save this to that folder. And what I do is you call it image, and you save it as a JPEG. And we'll go up to, now I'll go into puppy. There's already one called image. That was the one that was in the original petware, and we're just going to save right over that. And replace yes. Now you can use whatever photo editing software you have to create your cover image. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close this, and we're going to go back into the pattern server. Here we are. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up, let me just reload this because I just created that new folder. And there's our puppy folder. We'll load that, and then we click on the puppy, and there's our new folder. Now it has all the version 6 patterns in it, but also if we're creating a new collection, so now we have our new folio. You can take a picture of it and then have it go with your project. Happy designing and sewing.